with the Browns, at least for now, taking on the Eagles. It's Gabriel's preseason debut. Remember, they started Shedeur Sanders last week. First quarter, first drive, Gabriel. Look at that. Jamari thrashed. That's a first down. Gabriel actually went 3 for 3 on third down during his first drive. Starting the second, though, rolls left, looking for Deontay Johnson, and that is not Deontay Johnson. Andrew Nakuba takes that the other way. Adding insult to injury, that's not just a pick, that's a pick six. That gave the Eagles a 7-6 lead. Then under 2 minutes to go in the first half, now 2nd and 15 on the 33-yard line. So after the mistake, we're going to have some good from Gabriel. Gabriel drops back, fires this. Hayden Davis turns that into a gain of 29. That's the longest pass of the day. Led to a Browns field goal. Competition is live.
You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing. Of course, we're doing this mid-game, but you know, it's something that I'll get used to, and just want to be the best teammate I can and create an environment where we can all go do our best work. That's all we want to do.
Well, that's a bit of a dig. Gabriel went 13 for 18, 143 yards and 2 turnovers. Here's Daniel Oyafusi.
The Browns quarterback competition took another turn Saturday as third-round pick Dillon Gabriel got his chance to start the team's second preseason game. And it was a mixed bag in 5 first-half drives, 3 that ended in scores and 2 that ended in turnovers, including a pick 6. Afterward, Coach Kevin Stefanski said there was plenty to clean up, but he was happy about the way Gabriel operated the offense. The Browns now shift their focus to the preseason finale, which Stefanski told me he would treat as a dress rehearsal, but was non-committal on naming a Week 1 starter ahead of the game. There's still health concerns with Kenny Pickett and Shedeur Sanders, but if next week is a true dress rehearsal, we could see Joe Flacco, who has taken almost all the first-team reps in camp, leading the starting offense. From Philadelphia, Daniel Oyafusi, ESPN.
This feels like a tradition unlike any other because since 1999, the Browns have started 40 different quarterbacks, and only 3 of them actually have a winning record. Now, of those 3, Joe Flacco is on the list. He's actually among those competing for this year's jobs, though we haven't seen him in the preseason.
Entertain and compete. Full day for Dillon Gabriel. 13 of 18, 143, a fumble, a pick 6, and some comments taken out of context. What did you make of the day in total for Gabriel?
It was a nice, efficient day. He looked like a guy that can operate the offense. The accuracy on some of those throws, especially the one earlier in that drive on third down where he threw it above the defender and right into the hands to Thrash, where he was able to make the catch and get out of bounds. You like the ball came out quick. You like it was decisive, move when he have to. So there were some things that you liked. He led a scoring drive, but the turnovers are always going to be those hidden detractors that's going to be like, hey, man, you can't do this. Now we're down big because of this pick 6. That's the throw right there that was outstanding. So we saw when it was clean, the operation was where it needed to be, and the ball came out on time. That's what Kevin Stefanski wanted. He wanted to see how he can manage the offense, look great, but the 2 turnovers is really what doomed him.
Yeah, some learning points, some teaching points, and some learning opportunities here for Dillon Gabriel in his first go as we look at them side by side. Also a teaching point in they're going to take what you say and they're going to turn it into a headline. Said in an in-game interview with Aditi Kinkhabwala that some players are there to entertain, some players are there to compete, but it's not exactly what he said. He was talking about being a competitor and wanting to watch the football game. Had nothing to do with Shedeur Sanders and that ongoing race for a position on that roster and on that active roster. That's where I want to take you next. Your biggest loser, or one of them coming out of Saturday's play, is one of the names in that room, but neither of those 2.
Exactly. One that didn't play, and that was Kenny Pickett. And therein lies the problem. He didn't play. We hadn't seen him in the preseason. Now, we've seen him play regular season football before, but in this battle between Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and Joe Flacco, he has been hurt. So you can say he's incomplete. And if we're basing off what we saw last, Dillon Gabriel's game was efficient. Shedeur Sanders' game was efficient and also had 2 touchdown passes. Why do we need to see Kenny Pickett? Because you know you're going to get Flacco. You know the type of floor you're going to get with Joe Flacco. And if Kenny Pickett is playing essentially how these young rookies that have a lot of college experience are playing, then you can do without the rookie. And now, when you think about, okay, can they get assets for him? Where are we short on in certain positions? Maybe we can flip this guy for either a player or another pick in next year's draft. I think that's the loser of this because he hadn't really gotten out there to compete.
And if we do game that out, and it is Flacco starting and the 2 rookie quarterbacks in that room, It'll be interesting then to see what the depth chart looks like when you do need the 2 to step up. Who's going to be the 2? Who's going to be the 3? Answers all coming in time. We're going to talk 1 and 2 in the Indianapolis Colts quarterback room. Excuse me. This is sort of that either or right now between Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. You have an experienced veteran. You have a young buck who still needs some time. You have these numbers that come out of Saturday's play. It was Jones first and Richardson second as scheduled. The numbers look quite similar. Emery, what do you take away of the 2 performances?
If you're watching Daniel Jones and you're seeing the efficient numbers but not seeing the wild play, therein lies the problem with him in this competition, because you know with Richardson, and what I love about this competition, Joe, and what they did for him and both guys, don't run. Go out there, operate the offense from the pocket in the passing game, and let's see how you progress there. We've seen the progression from Richardson, made some great throws all throughout camp, and he didn't rely on his legs. I think he used his legs once on this particular drive where he was able to scramble up to convert a 3rd down. But it shows you that, hey, I can play from the pocket and use my legs when necessary. I love that he dropped weight. I love that he got a little bit more fluid in his arm movement, which helped with his accuracy, his touch, and his placement. And so all of that being said is that he is clearly playing either equal or slightly above Daniel Jones, which is not good news for Daniel Jones, who's been in the league for 6 years. So you have to be playing better than him, because if it's even, go with the young guy who you've invested a lot of money in and that has tremendous upside. He just has to stay healthy. This looks like rookie year Richardson as opposed to what we saw last year.
Yeah, it was also a step in the right direction. Pre-snap pressure identification was the big issue from game 1 of the preseason. No such issues. We walk away with all digits intact out of game number 2.
Facing the right direction.
Let's get positive here, Emery. Let's keep heading in that right direction. Your biggest winners, you got a trio of them coming out of Saturday's play. Run me through them.
All right, I'll start with Nick Martin, the linebacker out of Oklahoma State. He was phenomenal in college, and he was at the Senior Bowl, but here's a guy today, 6 tackles, a sack, 2 TFLs, and a quarterback hit. And every one of those tackles was an impactful one. He was stopping guys in their tracks out there. And how about Jackson Dart? 14 of 16, 137, a touchdown pass, and a rushing touchdown. The reason why I like his day is because he's showing you what development looks like when you have a starter and you're allowing a coach to work behind the scenes with the guy. His guy, Matt Corral, didn't get that opportunity in Carolina.
You didn't have a 3rd Martin for us? Martin Lawrence? Steve Martin?
Keanu Martin is almost.
Keanu Martin, how did I forget?
Keanu Martin. The reason why I saved the best for last, Joe, Keanu Martin is a raging Cajun. And I love the fact that he got out there and he had himself a great day. 3 TFLs, a sack, which led to a safety, the first points of the ball game, a quarterback hit, 2 TFLs. Keon Martin has been balling in the preseason, but Joe, I am not surprised, because all we as Raging Cajuns do is ball in any field.
Little hometown love.
Yeah, of course.
You got to do it. A nice performance there. Let's get back to the here and now. Some reality setting in as it's not cut down day close, but these are all big data points in these preseason games. I know they're not worth much, but it's worth everything to some of these players trying to make rosters.